This is the first video in a series of videos I would like to make for the channel. A dozen things every human being should know or own. It's my personal opinion, and it's just my thoughts at my age. I'm a little older, and I've learned a couple things in life, and I'd like to share it with you guys. And the first item on the list that everyone, and I mean I believe everyone, should own is a Swiss Army knife. They come in, as you can see, all sizes, shapes, and colors, and at some point it'll save your butt. It's just that simple. They're incredibly handy. I maintain several. I keep one in my DOP kit. I've got one in the kitchen junk drawer. I've got one in my briefcase and one in my workshop. And I think there's one in the center console of all of the cars. So we believe pretty heavily in it. When you purchase a Swiss Army knife and open the package, before you start messing with it, please know this. The blades are sharp. The scissors are sharp. Please handle them accordingly. This is the little one. This is called the Classic. The Classic, it's got tweezers, which almost all of them do. It's got your toothpick. And yes, if you lose either one of those, they can be replaced. You can order spares. It has the small blade, well used, as you can see. And it has the, if you can see that, the flat blade screwdriver tip, and it's a nail file. Flat blade screwdriver tip / prying utility device. Most of the knives, not all, but most have a lanyard to add them to a key ring or put some paracord on them or clip or whatever you might need to do. And then, of course, this particular model has the ever handy and iconic spring-loaded scissors. Now, this little dude goes for 20 bucks. This is the one that's in my shave kit. I think my wife has one in her makeup bag for traveling, or her toiletry bag, whatever she calls it. Now this one is my personal favorite. This one is in my workshop. I keep another one of these in my briefcase. This is called the Cyber Tool. It is not cheap. This one goes for about $100. It has the ever famous corkscrew that Victorinox Swiss Army knives are known for. It has a screwdriver for your eyeglasses hidden in the corkscrew there, as you can see. And when I say Victorinox works at it, Victorinox works hard at getting all of the tools in there. Can you see that right there where it's hidden back there? There's a nice straight pin. Don't know what you'd need a straight pin for, but by golly, you've got one if you need it. Standard lanyard, like I said, clip it on, connect it to whatever. Toothpick, like before. Ballpoint pen, yes, it is a working, functioning pen. It writes just fine. Yes, you can order 5 packs of these. They're very cheap if you find yourself using it and running it out of ink. I've scratched notes with this one for the better part of a year here and there, and it's not acting like it's anywhere near running out of ink. And of course, still got your tweezers. No big deal there. This one of the reasons I like it, it's got your screwdriver multi-ended bits and multiple bits. Couple of the, handy sizes of Torx and flat bit. Couple of different sizes on the Phillips bit. Now, if you look down in the end here, and it's going to be really hard to see with my not so great lighting, this actually, in addition to being the bit holder, acts as a nut driver. And if you look down in it, it's stepped, and it'll do two different nut driver sizes on that right there. Big flat blade, bottle opener. You'll find a lot of Swiss Army knives have a bottle opener. Small straight blade, prying, levering, this is the can opener. Now, the other one that's handy about this one, which is really cool, pair of pliers, spring-loaded. They're not huge, but they are handy. And if you look in that little bitty V-notch right there, I'm trying to get it lined up, it is actually a small gauge wire cutter as well. Bigger scissors on this one, spring-loaded as usual. I find that it's easier to get the large blade out if you open the screwdriver first. Large blade, and of course the small blade, and the other hook. Now, the history of this hook, I watched a documentary about Victorinox. Victorinox, a lot of their knives used to have this hook. They phased it out on some models. Most people didn't know what it was for. This is because way back when you would stop by the butcher, the baker, a store and do your shopping, they would wrap your purchases in brown paper and tie them with string. And you would hook this hook on the strings like a bakery box and then carry it. And that was a handle. You don't actually see this tool on many of the newer models, but I've actually used this several times. I was running some wiring in the wall, real small hole. I was trying to make the smallest hole possible, and I could see the pull string, but I couldn't get my big old paws in there, and I actually was able to stick that in and gently hook the string and pull it out of the hole. So even today has some uses. And then, oh yeah, the stitching awl still available, comes on this model. This one, this is actually, believe it or not, this belongs to Mrs. Engineered. I told her she needed to pick out one to keep in her car, and this is the one she picked out. So some of the features of it, nail file, still got your toothpick, still got your tweezers, still got your lanyard, corkscrew. Unlike the Cyber tool, no straight pin hidden in there. So not sure why they didn't put one in there, but I guess they thought, this has got enough other tools. It's got a compass, ruler, if you need that. We have pliers. They're a little different shape than the ones on the Cyber tool, but very handy. This one has an interesting tool. It has a magnifying glass. Yes, we tested it. You can start a fire. If you were out in the wilderness and needed to start a fire, you can do it with that. It has, interestingly, a real nasty saw. And I mean nasty as in it's sharp, and you can cut up some kindling pretty quick with it. Works like a champ. They also have a full-blown file, and it's also got some saw teeth on the side for some different, one's smoother and the other one's rougher. So real serious file. Still got the tweezers, or the scissors rather. This is a wrench, stepped wrench to get a nut or a bolt off if you needed to. Still got your bottle opener. Still got your can opener. Pretty standard stuff, but the interesting thing about this one is because of the size, the big blade does lock and have to be released. And it does not have a small blade. It just has the large blade. I don't have enough fingernail, I don't think, to pop it out of there because of all the work I've been doing down here in the shop. It does have scissors, same as the other model. Nothing different there. This one I think was 130 bucks. It's a monster. You need to go to Victorinox's website and find what Swiss Army knife meets your needs or your lifestyle. They have hundreds, and I mean hundreds of models. They used to only come in the classic red. Now, as you can see, they come in blue and black, and they come in a variety of colors, patterns, different things like that. But this is considered the small category. These two both actually, believe it or not, are in the medium category of knives, and they actually have a large category. They have a Swiss Army knife if you're a hunter. They've got one if you're a hiker, backpacker, you're an arborist. They have one called the florist for if you work in a flower shop. It's got a special, blade on it that you would use for, getting the thorns off flowers. They've got one called the skipper if you're sailor, boater, things like that. But I strongly recommend that you go to their website, look around, see what all the options are, buy one for yourself, and keep it handy. You'll be glad you did. Today might not be tomorrow, but you will end up in a situation where the Swiss Army knife comes in handy and takes good care of you. I should also mention there are variations of the same. I should have said this earlier. I apologize. There are variations of the same model. This is the Cyber Tool. There is a Cyber Tool L, which is light. And I think if you push on the logo here, the LED light shines. Got a little flashlight in it. It's just using a little watch battery. I'm sure it doesn't last that long, and I'm sure it's not super bright, but in an emergency, better than nothing, I'm quite certain. So do yourself a favor. Go out to the website, have a look, and order yourself one and give it a shot. I think I think long term you'll decide that it was a good purchase. Thank you, and talk to you folks later. Bye.